Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Much appreciated you guys making some time to watch the video. I know there's a lot of channels out there you can be checking out, so thanks a lot for checking this one out. Much appreciated there. Today I'm going to give you guys what I think is the worst piece of fishing advice an angler can take, and my opinion on the thing. I'll explain it to you guys why I feel like that, and be curious to get some feedback on it. So real quick before we get started here, just a quickly weekly housekeeping tip. Just want to remind everybody to please visit our View Product shopping tab. When you see the video come on at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a thing that says View Products. It's just a few products I put in there I think you guys might be interested to check out. And every time you click on a product, the channel gets 20 cents. So that's a really good way to support what's going on here if you'd like to do that. Much appreciated. Okay guys, the worst advice a bass fisherman can take, in my opinion, is what has become popular saying the last couple of years, and that is the worst piece of advice is that if you don't keep up with technology, you're going to get left behind. Guys, you don't have to listen to this. This is like the biggest bunch of crap I have ever heard in my life, and I want to explain that. Yeah, there is some truth to that if the only end goal that you have in bass fishing is just to catch the most bass that you possibly can. But if that's your goal in bass fishing, you're missing the point of fishing altogether. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that, because what I'm about to say, a lot of people can't comprehend it. There's a lot of people that the way their brains are wired, they simply can't understand, or it doesn't register with them. And it's sort of like when I tell somebody that cutting down a 100-year-old redwood tree so somebody can have a coffee table in their living room is messed up and wrong and should be illegal. Some people can understand what I'm talking about there, and other people simply can't grasp that reality. It's sort of like what I'm talking about with the worst piece of advice is that if you don't keep up with technology, you can get left behind. If you guys watch the channel very much before, you sort of know my position on technology a little bit. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to explain to you why, in several different terms, what is behind that. Because I'm not just saying this to make myself, to hear myself talk. There's a reason behind it. If you feel that you have got to pursue technology at all means, like I said, you're missing out on the fundamental intrinsic value of fishing. Fishing at its purest form, I don't care what level you do it at. I don't care if it's tournament fishing, if it's recreational fishing, if you fish once a year, if you fish with worms and a bobber, it doesn't matter whatever it is. Fishing is a therapeutic healing experience. And in my opinion, technology takes away from that experience, because once that you adopt and once that you get sucked into the technology vacuum and the technology silo, which is constantly changing, constantly you're having to keep up with the Joneses, constantly having to spend more money, constantly you're focused on pushing your energy away from the real aspect of fishing, and you're turning it into something that's not real, it's sort of fake. The more you do that, the more you lose that intrinsic value, the more you lose that healing effect of it, the more that you lose the emotional benefit that comes with fishing. Fishing is about enjoying the experience of being outdoors. The actual bite and the actual landing the fish is just secondary to being outside. Let's say for example, if every lake that we had in the country, there was nothing on the shoreline except condos and houses everywhere, and literally there was not a tree in sight, there wasn't anything out there, there was nothing but overhead jets buzzing by all the time, there was cars, there was trains, there was police sirens, ambulance noises all the time, there was big 50-foot cruisers making big wakes across the water, and nasty caustic smell in the air from pollution. Doesn't matter how good the fish is, it doesn't matter how good the fishing is, and it doesn't matter how much technology you have, you are not going to enjoy that experience. That experience is going to be miserable for you, because you're leaving out all of the aspects about fishing that attract us to fishing to begin with. If you look at it on a pure level, the things that are valuable in fishing, it's like feeling that wind in your face. It's like hearing the birds chirp and seeing the activity up on the bank, seeing just being out in the experience of nature. That is the thing that is valuable in fishing, along with the mystery. The mystery in fishing, guys, you cannot discount how powerful the mystique and the mystery in fishing is. Because one of the things about this is, like, if you guys have ever waded a creek or waded a pond or whatever like that, say that you're wading up this particular creek and you're in a set of riffles and you see up ahead of you, you see this slow, deep pool. You look at that thing and says, man, that looks good. I don't know what's in there, but there's got to be something in there. And there's this anticipation that you have, not knowing what's there. It's the same with the farm pond. It's like if you're walking around this farm pond and there's nothing on the bank, and all of a sudden you look up there in front of you and there's a lay down log in the water. You don't know what's on that lay down log, but man, it looks good, and you got this tremendous amount of anticipation. Or if you're in a boat, even say, for example, it's November, the wind's blowing a little bit, everything looks perfect, and you pull up there and you pull out your spinnerbait where you've caught a bunch of fish doing this before, and you don't know what's on this point, and you've got this anticipation of throwing that spinnerbait across that windy point and see if one's going to be there. There's power to that. There's energy to that. But when you enter technology into that and you pull up on that same point and you point your live scope or your side imaging or whatever on that point, and you scan around it and you don't see anything, or you see whatever, you lose that intrinsic, mysterious, magical aspect of it. It's removed from your fishing. It doesn't exist anymore. That powerful element is gone. So what happens is the value of fishing on the level that it's intended to be, or the level that it should be on, is gone, and it turns into more of a commercial venture at that point. So the point of what the video is, guys, don't get sucked into taking the advice that you have to keep up with the technology, you're going to get left behind. You don't need to be on that train, man. That's something that it doesn't hurt you to get left behind on that, because if you want to experience fishing at the fullest, get out there and become a student of the fish. Get out there and become a student of their personality and their moods and behavior. Be a student of studying shallow water, target-oriented areas. Be a student of observing nature on the bank and observing the weather conditions and observing subtle changes in the water. That is the thing that's going to be valuable to you, and that's the thing that's going to keep your interest and your passion and your love for fishing going on. I mean, like I said, a lot of people aren't going to comprehend that. They're in this information silo that they can't see out of. But I just want to throw that out there and give you guys something to think about. That don't feel like you're missing out on anything if you don't keep up with technology. You don't have to do it. You can still catch a bunch of fish. You can have a great time. You will have more of an experience that touches you deep as a person inside your being, more than if you follow the technology. So like I said, just want to throw that out there. A lot of you guys, this is going to go over your head. You're not going to understand what I'm saying here, and you're on your own path. I can help you, but if you don't listen, it doesn't really matter on that. But some of you guys, what I just said will resonate with you, and it'll just reaffirm that you're on the right path if you choose not to pursue and follow and keep up with technology. So anyway, guys, hope you all doing good. Thanks for tuning in the video again. We'll talk later.